Hello and welcome to this week's TORCHCAST. Hello and welcome to another episode of the TORCHCAST for Wednesday, September 30th, 2015. My name is Devin Anderson. I am your host, and if you listened last week to our episode with Mr. Evan Paskowski, you might have listened to the very end when I said that we'd have a very special guest if everything worked out. Well, everything did work out, so much so that I got to interview Bo Burnham, the homecoming comedian, on video. So if you haven't checked that out yet, go ahead and do so. You can find that video on the Torch's YouTube page, where I believe you're currently listening to my voice. So you should be able to find it there quite easily. It was awkward. Well, wait, before I do that, I have to tell you that a very special other person is here today. Josh Olszewski, the president of the Music Industry Management Association, will be here to talk about a big concert this weekend called Music on the Muskegon. So stay tuned to the end of the show for that. We'll have Josh on. But first, I would like to talk to you about my awkward Bo Burnham experience. So we show up last Wednesday. It's Evan Dulac, Chris Martin, and myself. Evan and Chris helped me film this. Very cool of them to do so. So we show up and we get there and we walk backstage, and Brandon Wardell, the opening comedian, had just gotten off stage and he was hyped up. If you saw the show, he's an interesting guy. He was listening to hip hop music, very loud, for us to set up to as our soundtrack, some gangster beats. And I got to talk to Brandon for a few minutes, and he was a very cool guy. I think you'll be seeing a lot more from him in the future. Big up-and-coming stand-up star, so that's very cool. Then we waited around. I kept, after we got the camera set up, I walked to the reel right next to the stage, backstage, and watched Bo Burnham side stage while he played to all you lovely Ferris people. That was super, super cool to see kind of his process, what it looks like from a 90-degree different angle than the way most of you saw it. And all the while, I was just standing there nervous out of my mind because Bo is I think, my favorite comedian. So to learn that he was coming to Ferris in the first place was kind of crazy for me, but then knowing that I'd get to interview him was even crazier. This is Bo Burnham, after all. So, he gets done playing, and he goes in his dressing room and apparently ate a piece of pizza, and then came into the other green room where we were set up. And we shook hands. He said hello. He was very nice. I said, good show. And then we kind of sat down and we just started. And I think you can see, even though we did some funny stuff, we did a couple little bits, if you will. I was extremely nervous, and you can feel and see my excitement. Probably to my detriment. It made me kind of an awkward person for that. Bo was in a particularly goofy mood. Usually when you see him interviewed by like Mark Maron or Conan or someone like that, he's very philosophical. Even when they're trying to be funny with him, he's sort of a serious guy. But something about the atmosphere, the environment, or maybe it was the fact that he had just got off stage being goofy for an hour, that he just decided to completely derail any mildly serious question I had for him, which is totally cool with me. We edited the video together so that it made him as funny as possible. I think it's kind of fun to watch. And thank you so much, Bo. And people have been asking me if I actually kissed Bo at the end, or if that was planned. No and no. Bo, I did not kiss Bo, but he did lean in with his lips puckered for some odd reason. I don't know why. Bo is straight. I am straight. I don't understand, but I'm so glad that it all worked out the way it did. So thank you so much, Bo Burnham. And thank you to Brian Heinrichs and Nick Smith, who helped coordinate the event and helped coordinate the interview. They helped me out a huge amount. So thank you. And I hope everyone enjoys the video. Plowing right ahead, let's take a look at some headlines from this week's Torch. First big piece of news, Austin Hamilton and Rainer Brau have been named Homecoming Royalty for 2015. Yes, they were the first male homecoming royalty court, now that we've done away with the King Queen. to make a level playing field. Here's something I thought that's interesting. Angie Roman from the Clacks office just reported to me 920 votes were cast for homecoming royalty, whereas, let's say, the student government election, 633 votes were cast. So you can see what people are interested in voting for. Next up, here is some info on Ferris recycling. This is our front page story this week, and I don't want to get too much into it because eventually I hope to have someone from the Bulldog Sustainability Alliance on, or from Physical Plant, one of the people I talked to here, to talk to you folks about recycling and how we can recycle better, because Ferris doesn't recycle much, and here is some proof. 86% of the total waste from Ferris is just trash. We throw it out. That's all, a bunch of recyclable stuff included. We actually recycle about 3% of our total waste. Another 5% alone is just waste from move in and move out weekend, which is crazy to me. So much stuff. And then 6% is shredded and then recycled. Rafael Dominguez, the custodial services manager, informed me that Physical Plant has a large, heavy-duty shredder that can probably shred just about anything. You could probably throw a human being in there. And oh, that's gross. Why did I say that? More news. Kip Bybee reports this week 3,800 appointments were made last year at the Writing Center. That is a record number for them. They're seeing more people than ever. It's a cool service. I've had this myself, taking English papers in to get them critiqued by other students who are well-versed in the English language, as we probably should be, but maybe we aren't. And this doesn't apply to English classes. It can be to any class as long as it's like a piece of writing. They're happy to help you out, and they're open Monday through Friday. Now it's time for our favorite part of the show. This is the crime section that is just getting better and better, or should I say worse and worse every week. Should we have like a theme song to this section? I think we should. Let's try something else. That works. Okay, so I'm just going to read some of these off here. I didn't even have room for all the crimes that were reported to me in the paper. So altogether, there were 10 marijuana busts this week. 5 of them alone were in Travis Hall. Thought that was interesting. Next up, he was really hungry. Officers assisted the city police with responding to 2 disorderly subjects at Taco Bell. One subject had been attacking the Taco Bell sign and was lodged in the county jail. Here's another one that I wanted to explain in a little more detail. Thought it was interesting. Foul language on the field. Officers responded to a disorderly subject complaint at South Campus practice fields where an intoxicated 17-year-old male from Cadillac, don't know what he was doing here, but he was intoxicated and shouting obscenities at the police and was lodged in the county jail. Now, the police captain, Jim Cook, told me he was saying some very nasty things, FTP, if you catch that, to the police, and so they got rid of him. Rightfully so, I think. What are you doing, man? Officers are still investigating 2 fraud complaints from last week, one at Praken and one at The Rock. Both places were solicited for money from fictitious companies claiming they were authorized by Ferris to transfer money into this or that bank account. They're still trying to figure it out. And here's one that I don't have a Ferris report on, but I thought it'd be worth mentioning. Big Rapids DPS responded to a 200-person fight behind shooters over the weekend. Wow, that's a lot of people fighting, and I'm not sure over what. Like I said, I don't have the details, but hopefully I will for you next week. Now, that's some of what's in the Torch this week. There's also great stuff in sports, opinions, and lifestyles this week. Lots of good stories. So pick that up in print around campus or visit us on the web at fsutorch.com. Yeah, internet, woohoo. Okay, now let's go talk to Josh Olszewski and see what he's up to. I am here with my friend, the coordinator of Music on the Muskegon, and the president of the Music Industry Management Association. Give it up for Josh Olszewski. How are you, Josh?
I'm doing all right, man. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for coming in.
Glad to be here.
So let's get right down to it. Tell me about Music on the Muskegon.
All right, Music on the Muskegon. It's an international music festival taking place at Hemlock Park on October 3rd, this Saturday at 4 p.m. And really what we're trying to do here is just provide an opportunity for people to step outside their comfort zone and really experience something new. So, we're bringing in bands that play music from all different parts of the world. We have, a Celtic world beat band that's going to be very drum heavy, and then an Americana folk band right after them, followed by a Japanese drum ensemble. And then to kick off or to end off the night, we're going to have a Latino rock band. So it's really, you get a glimpse of cultures from all around the world.
Okay, and you've got other activities at the event to support the cultural theme as well?
Yes, we are partnering with the Center for Latino Studies and the Office of Multicultural Student Services, as well as the Office of International Education, to bring in, we're doing a recycled drum circle. So using recycled materials, people are going to make and decorate their own drums. And then for about 25 to 30 minutes, we're going to lead this drum circle, and people can create their own music out of instruments that they've made. Also, we're going to be incorporating some international food. We really just wanted to allow people to try stuff that they never tried before. So Nawal will be down there, and she'll be selling her world famous cupcakes, as well as some Mediterranean food. And then Kilwins will be down there selling fudge pops, and they'll be selling t-shirts. And actually just today we got contacted by a taco food truck. So last minute edition, we'll be having some good quesadillas and tacos down there as well, and I'm really excited about it.
Very cool.
Yeah, and then we're also going to incorporate different activities that also come from around the world. I was talking to the president of the International Student Organization, and we were trying to come up with ideas of things to play, and it was really cool because all of the games he kind of presented to me were versions of American games that we recognize, but yet they're different. And you kind of wonder the chicken or the egg thing, which one came first, which one comes off the other. But no, I think it'll be a really eye-opening experience for everybody.
Now, this event is the first that I'm aware of that really takes place away from Ferris, the first MEMA event, at least in a while. Talk a little bit about approaching the city of Big Rapids to have this in Hemlock Park.
Yeah, well, it all stemmed from our old office. We had a bunch of old posters of old shows that we've done on the wall. And one of them, and I don't remember what it was called, but it took place in Hemlock. And it was just like a Saturday fall afternoon, and there's a bunch of bands listed. And, I look to my friend Sean, and he looks back at me, and he says, why isn't this a thing anymore? So we talked to Dan, and, he really encouraged us to go forward.
Dan Kronk.
Dan Kronk, yep, of the Music Industry Management Program. And really supportive, really encouraged us to go on with it. And so we went to the city. They were very receptive of the idea, loved the fact that we were really trying to bring in a community aspect to, because, you have shows on campus, it's really for Ferris students. Community's invited, but we really wanted to do something different and bring it to the community.
Very cool. Now you mentioned Sean. That's Sean White, who's helping you.
Yep, Sean White, not the snowboarder.
But the Ferris student.
Ferris student, he's also in music industry management.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been my right-hand man.
Cool. And while I'm there at Ferris, I've got to ask you, and every guest, this question. What brought you to Ferris?
The music industry management program. There's nothing else like it.
Okay. Where are you from originally?
I'm from Heartland, Michigan, which is right smack dab in the middle of Flint and Ann Arbor.
Oh, okay. All right. Very cool. Now I want to come back to this too. You were the chair of last year's homecoming comedy show. We are now on the heels of the big Bo Burnham show. Mm-hmm. Can you take me back to last year when you were booking TJ Miller?
Oh man, booking TJ, it turned out to be such a great show. Coming into, I'd always been a fan of comedy, but never really followed it. And so once I became the chair, I did a lot of research on just, really looking up clips of different comedians. And, TJ was really strong throughout everyone, and he was a really good storyteller. And that's what I really admired about him. And so, I really wanted to bring him to campus. And a lot of people resonated with who he was. They recognized him, they've seen him, and it was really awesome. They were all really excited about it. And I think it's really awesome that this year we got to do it a step up, and really bring
further.
Bo Burnham. So I'm glad that I was a part of that legacy of taking it a step further.
Cool. All right, now I want to jump to your band. Josh is in a band called Beach Thief. How would you what genre would you put this in?
Beach Thief is sort of I would consider it a lo-fi garage rock.
Okay. It does have a very DIY, do-it-yourself kind of sound to it, which I think is really cool, the style. It really works. And you're in with Sean White, the aforementioned Sean White, not snowboarder, as well as Jordan, who's also helping you out with music on the Muskegon, right?
Yep, Jordan McNaughton and I were roommates last year, and
Okay.
Sean White would always come over, and, it turned out Sean played guitar, Jordan played drums, and I played bass, so...
And you guys have an album out. What's the album called?
Yeah, the album is called Mom, Can I Smoke Cigarettes?
Awesome. And where did you record it? I think this is cool.
Yeah, we recorded it in the Music Industry Management Program's studio, which is located right in the College of Business.
And I think that's crazy. There can't be that many College of Businesses anywhere in the world that have a recording studio inside.
Not that I know of.
I mean, I think that's awesome. So as music industry management people, you can rent out the recording lab, I think Dan refers to it as.
Yeah, really it's there for us and our friends to use and create new projects and to create new stuff. So it was really cool that we could really get in there and record an album.
Now I'd like to play us out with a song. Do you have a suggestion for a Beach Thief song for everyone to hear?
Ooh. It's called You Burnt My Mac and Cheese.
Ooh, all right.
True story.
Okay, so here comes a true story from Beach Thief. You burnt my mac and cheese. Make sure to get out to Music on the Muskegon this Saturday at 4 p.m. It's a free event. Should be lots of fun. I'll be there. Come say hi to me. Come say hi to Josh. Any final words, sir?
Continue to do great things, everybody. I love you.
All right, let's make a goofy noise on 3. 1, 2, 3. Hurrah!
I wasn't trying to be a jerk, I just sounded like a jerk. I know. Try to live with myself without being selfish. Try to live in the moment without repeating my mistakes. I'm doing my best, and I think I'm doing my best, but sometimes, yeah, sometimes it's not enough. Fight before, twice in real life, 10 times in my head. Can't change what I did, just what I'll do. Ooh. Why can't I say things right? I'm doing my best, and sorry. It won't happen again.
For those of you who stuck around this long, let me tell you a joke. What did one lawyer say to the other lawyer? Well, he said, "Hey man, we're both lawyers." Yeah? No, I'll leave the jokes to Bo Burnham. Okay, bye.